Okay, hi, I'm Dixie Michelle, and I'm in the midst of making these mandolins here, and right now I'm making this video about how I put the frets into the slots of the fingerboard. I'm right in the middle of this job. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I need this many frets put into the fingerboard that aren't there yet. So I take my fret wire, which comes in long pieces. I put it up here to see how long I want it to be. Okay, here's my fingerboard, and here's the fret wire. It comes in long pieces. So first thing I do is to put that fret wire right up here, and I want to cut this to length, and I want it to be about 1/8 of an inch extra on either side. So that cut it, and you can see it's 1/8 of an inch extra on either side. So what I want to do now is bend this fret, and I want it to be curved a little more than the fingerboard is curved, so that you can hammer both ends in first and leave the middle sticking up, and the last thing you do is hammer that middle back down. If you try to do it any other way, it's not going to work, because if you start on one end and start hammering it in, that other end will pop out and it'll make a mess, because when the fret comes out of the fingerboard, it pulls wood with it. So I'm just about done here. As you can see, I've got a pretty good curve to this, and just a little bit more here. Okay, now if you notice here, this is curved way more than the radius of the fingerboard right now. So I'm going to go over and hammer this in right now. But as you can see, this is what we start with. Here's the fret, and you can see it's way over curved. I'm placing it right here in the slot and making sure I got 1/8 of an inch sticking out on both sides. Alright, here's where we start. The first thing I'm going to do is hammer both ends in. I'll hold on to it while I'm doing that. Now this is a 22-ounce ball peen hammer. I believe in having a big hammer for this job. You don't want a really light hammer. It's 22 ounces of hammer, and the face has been polished so that it won't mar up the fret. That's one side in. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to put the other side down. Okay, as you can see, the fret is in on both ends, but not in the middle. So I'm going to come right on across it, tapping it light. There. That fret is in there. Next thing I'm going to do after that fret is seated in there, so I'm going to take these clippers and I'll cut both ends off, flush with the edge of the fingerboard. Okay, next thing I do after that fret's in there is I use some of this regular super glue that comes in the small tubes, and it's very viscous. It goes right in there. So all you got to do is put one drop right here on the end, and that goes all the way through there. I turn it around and put another drop on this side, and there, that's done. Well, that's about all there is to putting in frets. I'm trying to make a lot of videos in this process of making these mandolins, so I'll have all kinds of things covered. And I hope you'll use the comments to try to tell me what you'd like to see next.